first thing I wanted to talk about is I'm just coming to the end of a two-week vacation in San Francisco, somewhere I've always wanted to go to since I was about 13, 14.
Yeah.
Like most people who go somewhere they've always wanted to go to, I've no desire to leave, unfortunately. But I acknowledge that at some point I do have to leave.
Well, you can take your refreshed self with you wherever you go, your changed self, your new self. And so every place you go, after you've been someplace where you feel so refreshed that you don't want to leave, every place you go now will look different to you because of the shift in your vibration. Yeah.
Okay.
So that sort of makes it feel more inviting, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. And we promise you, no matter how beautiful a place is, if you stay too long,
it will stop.
Because new is so much a part of who you are.
Yeah. So while I've been here, I've encountered a few things that feel very much like a path lighting up in front of me.
Yeah.
And it's been confirmed to me by a couple of people that I've encountered. And so I'm now in the process of contemplating actually looking at moving to San Francisco.
Yeah.
One of the problems or issues or concerns that I have
is that you're not vibrationally ready to receive the path for that successful experience. So the desire is there. The desire is there.
Yeah.
But some more practice so that you're truly in the receiving mode.
Okay.
Yeah. People get ahead of themselves. They want so much the relief that they've found, but you want to be solid in the vibration, because sometimes when you visit a place, you're responding to conditions and you think it's solid vibration. Solid vibration is not about responding to conditions. We've never said that before. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Responding to condition is not the solid practiced vibration that you want. You want the solid vibration that affects the conditions, not conditions that affect the vibration. Ooh.
Whoa.
That doesn't mean you're not coming here,
No.
and it doesn't mean that it won't be wonderful, but it means that action is not being inspired quite yet.
Yeah. And I'm very aware I'm trying, or I'm deliberately not getting hooked up in how I'm going to do it.
Good,
you
good.
know.
That's it.
But there is a
You could talk more about what and why.
Yeah.
Because the more you talk about what and why, the more you solidify that steady vibration. And then your point of attraction just makes it not only inevitable, but irresistible, until nothing could keep you from it. And that's the way you want to feel. You want to say, Abraham, I don't care what you're saying, I'm doing this and I'm doing it now. That's how it feels.
Okay.
We're not saying that you want the details to all be planned out.
No.
It's not about knowing the precise path. It's about the feeling being so strong and so undeniable that nothing is going to dissuade you from it.
Yeah. So the thing that upsets me, concerns me, is the fact
Indicates my vibrational unreadiness for me.
Well, it's my mother.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
not one thing, it's your mother. Basically, without sort of telling tales out of school, I know in my heart of hearts that if I was to leave my country and create distance between myself and my mother, that would be something that my mother would find very hurtful and very upsetting, and I would never, ever, ever want to do anything that upset or hurt my mother.
Well, we just talked about this right before you came
and
on.
that's why it felt like a good mirror into
It was perfect, because we just talked about when you are trying to be the path of least resistance for another, it never works, because you cannot be. And also, when you try to be the path of least resistance for someone, you train them in their own conditional living, and so then they're never free to really find freedom. They always need you to affect some circumstance so that they can feel better, which is bondage for them and bondage for you. So if you step back far enough, you will find that knowing that most of all your mother wants your happiness. So if you get into that high-flying place and are inspired to that, there's momentum that carries so much with it, you see. If you say to someone who loves you, like your mother, I'm going to try this thing I'm not sure of, that will frighten her. If you say, I'm going to do this thing that you don't really want me to do, but I need to do it for myself, that will offend her in some way. But if you really solidify your vibration so that you've got the universe cooperating with you and the energy that creates worlds flowing through you with all of that leverage and energy, when you say, this is what I'm going to do and I'm so exhilarated about it, that carries so much weight with her, because somewhere within her, you see, she put you and all good things about you in her vortex long ago. So her inner being will call her home to that knowing, and she might hear it or she might not, but you cannot live your life for someone who hasn't figured out to hear the calling of their own vortex. And you can have it all. You can be so influential that you can make her know that you are well, and you can be so prosperous that you can make often journeys to wherever she is or bring her to wherever you are. It's the vibrational separation that bogs you down. This is a very small globe. You can get anywhere easily.
I know.
FaceTime makes it instantaneously miserable. True. Wonderful.
Now, there was just one last tiny thing I wanted to ask, if that was okay.
Yeah.
I've only been...
But you see what you just did? Don't apologize for taking this time.
I know other people want...
Don't treat us like you are with your mother.
Okay. Sorry.
And don't treat them that way either.
Okay.
In other words, because what you're basically saying, and we know you're wanting to be respectful of them.
Yeah, of course.
But they want to hear what you've got going on. They're pretty much convinced that whatever this is we're going to talk about is going to be good. And that's what we meant. That's how your mother's going to feel too. You were assuming that they weren't going to go along with you taking more time, but you weren't right, were you?
No.
Was he? And maybe your mother is a lot more like them than you think.
I guess so.
Maybe she'll be rooting for you.
She always does.
Yeah. So has it felt like a competition? She's rooting for me or she's rooting for her? Or could it be both? Could one of the things that connects her with her source energy the most often be her thrill when she thinks about you? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.